So I bought an Xbox 360 off of Goodwill, and apparently it's supposed to come with 2 controllers, 2 games, and the obvious accessories, you know, the power cord and stuff. Now I don't think that it comes with an HDMI or a AV cable. So, I mean, let's just see what we got. And with Goodwill fashion, you know, having all this paper on the top, which I just come to find out that all this paper isn't actually very good packaging. Now that I think about it, I probably should like shook the box and see how well it was before I opened it. Actually, let me just do that and see what happens. If I were to do this, pick it up, and shake it, well, it's alright. The box seems to be in pretty decent condition. There isn't a whole lot of stuff. There isn't a whole lot of like dents and stuff. But like, let's just get right into it. So of course, all this junk paper. Unnecessary. Wow, that's like that's not very good packing. Oh my god, the Xbox isn't even bubble wrapped. Oh. Well, anyways, came with 2 games: Shaun White Skateboarding, which is complete in case. Let's see how this disc looks like. I mean, it's alright. Like, there's a couple scratches on it. I doubt you'll be able to see it on the camera. Oh, maybe like right there. But the scratches shouldn't be too bad to the point where the game doesn't work. And then we have, oh, okay. Well, we have Halo Anniversary in an Xbox One case with no cover art or anything like that. So that's, you know, awesome, but as much as it sucks, you can't really expect much. Oh, this disc is trashed. Holy. Look at this. I doubt this game will even work. Oh my god. Well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose when it comes to Goodwill. That's alright. Let's see, for the power supply, we have, if I can undo it, I don't know why I'm struggling so bad. There we go. We have an OEM power supply. It says Microsoft on it. I just get it closer so you can see it. If you can see it. But it says Microsoft up here. I'll set this aside. And we actually got an OEM cord that goes from the power supply to your outlet. Now, if you saw my last video, we got the OEM power supply, but not the OEM cable. But it still ended up working. So the prongs are a little bit like bent. You gotta get the right angle. Yeah, right there. Like this one's a little bit bent, which is no big deal. You can either realign it yourself by pushing on it, or just plug it in and that should realign it. 2 controllers. They both seem to be wired. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and undo the wiring work here. Yep, these are OEM. They're just wired, which is alright, you know, wired or wireless. I didn't really care when I played. Still very clicky, which can be a good sign. I'm gonna wrap this back up and do the same thing with that white controller. Oh, we did get an HDMI cord. Look at that. Cool. I find it sad how they packaged it with just paper. Like, there is no bubble wrap in here whatsoever. Here's this other wired controller, which is OEM. Still very clicky, which is a good sign. Usually when the buttons start to go haywire, they quit being so clicky, or you can't even push them down. So at first glance, these controllers should work, so long as the cable isn't all messed up, which the cables, I mean, they have a couple dings on them, but shouldn't be enough to break them. Wow, this is an old school HDMI cord. It's a thick boy. But anyways, now we get to the main event. There's something rattling in there. And I can put this box to its side. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's some rattling in there. In which, I mean, for the way they packaged it, I would not be surprised if it's all beat up inside. It's got a little blemish on the paint. Right over this O. You can kind of, it almost seems like somebody tried spray painting it. But other than that, but other than, it hasn't been open, it doesn't look like. Because if you see from the back, usually if it's been open, all these little tabs here, there and over here, you can usually tell if they've been pried open. And it doesn't seem like it. But I could be wrong. Let's see, it was manufactured in 2008. So, 2008 plus, that would be a Falcon motherboard. Which, as far as I understand, Falcon motherboards are less likely to get red ring of death. And this is my second console from Goodwill that is a Falcon motherboard. I mean, let's see. Tabs are still here. Oh, that one's stuck. That's cool. That's no big deal. You can always take this off and then push it back out. I'm sure something... Oh, you can't really see it, can you? I can see broken plastic in here. Let's see if I can make it so that you can see it. Nope, not really. That's alright. Once we open it up, we'll see all that kind of stuff. Let's see if I can unclip this. Kind of dusty, but it's still good. I mean, it looks pretty much... I mean, just give it a wipe down with the paper towel and it'll look brand new, pretty much. A few scratches on it, it's no big deal. I mean, same thing here, not a whole lot of dust. So it's probably hasn't been used in a while. And I forgot to mention it's a 60 gigabyte hard drive. Which for 360 games, that means you could have a crap ton of games. Ooh, so this is not good. I went to go and plug this power supply in, and I noticed that right here, the cable's coming, or the insulation for the cable is coming off. So I'm gonna have to like tape it in or something, because I doubt I can. Well, I can just push it in. Yeah, that'll be alright. So we got her all plugged in. Let's see if she'll turn on. I mean, no red ring of death, so that's a plus. It does sound like the fan sounds just a little bit dirty. It actually sounds pretty clean compared to like the last one. Let's see if we get a free game. Damn, no free game. But we know that disk drive we'll push out and come back in. Let's try that a couple more times and see if it'll get stuck or something. No, but it does sound like it could use a cleaning. So let's go ahead and plug in the HDMI port. Let's see if we can get... If we're lucky, we'll get like Blade's dashboard or something, but it's highly doubtful. Oh, no way. Is this... Hold on, I gotta plug in a controller. This has to be... I'm not very familiar with all the dashboards on Xbox, on the 360 at least, but this has to be the NXC dashboard, if I remember correctly. Okay, so I took it back to the home, and this has to be NXC. There's no way it's not an NXC. Yep, 60 gigabytes. Let's just see if there's anything on here. I doubt it, because it's just, yeah. So there's nothing on the hard drive. I think I have to go. So it wasn't completely wiped. So I mean that's whatever. So we are on 2010, bro. This has been it's been updated like twice. So unfortunately, it's been somewhat wiped because there's no profiles on here. Let's go ahead and try out this. Well, let me actually show you so that you know that I'm putting in this Halo game. So let's open the tray, put Halo in. Let's see if it'll read it. I doubt it because it's so scratched up. At this point, I highly doubt that yeah, it's not reading it. It's saying to open the tray. Unless the disk drive doesn't work. This is probably the worst game to even attempt to see if the disk drive works. Let's try Shaun White skateboarding, which, I mean, it's relatively scratched up, but not nearly as bad as Halo. Okay, so it's not reading that one. Let me go ahead and grab a game that I know works. Okay, so I'm currently putting in Dragon Age 2, which is the game that came with my last Xbox from Goodwill. I know the game works because it worked on that 360. So let's go ahead and put that in. Hopefully it won't require... See, I don't hear it spinning. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to, when I tear this apart, I'm gonna have to go ahead and fix the disk drive. So unfortunately, the disk drive, I mean, it sounded like it wanted to start revving up and work, but it wasn't. So that means that it could mean a lot of things. I'm really hoping it's not what's rattling in here, it's the plastic that's surrounding the disk drive, or it's that broken plastic is inside of the disk drive. Because if that is the case, then I'm just kind of screwed here. But I guess worst case scenario, I can just buy another disk drive for this console and replace it. And of course, we gotta take apart this bottom little bracket to keep in all the dust and stuff. Okay, so here is a good indication as to what has broken off. There's supposed to be 6 clips here, and there's only 4. So that means that this clip and this clip down here broke off, and they're just running around on the inside of this Xbox. If it's just that, it should all be fair game. And I mean, if you look at these grates, they look fantastic. There's hardly any dust on them. Let me wipe my finger so you can kind of see how much dust is on there. Not really a whole lot. You can see a little bit on my finger, but there isn't a whole lot of dust on here. Let me flip it upside down and see if those little plastic pieces or tabs will come off. No. But a piece from the inside did fall out, which is not good. Oh, Goodwill. When will you learn that your actions have consequences? Okay, well, this one didn't like completely break off. It just kind of bent down, which can be fixed, I hope. I can glue it on and hope for the best. Okay, so we got this front face off. This has been taken off before, because if you look right here, somebody put like marker or pen around these little studs or screws or whatever. This part is relatively clean. There isn't any water damage or anything like the last video. I mean, I could use a dusting just like any other console could, which is no big deal. But if you do take a look at the front, yeah, this has been... It seems like it has been opened. Mostly because I've only seen these stickers on Xboxes that have had Red Ring of Death. So that means the thermal paste should have been replaced. But I'm still not entirely sure. Let me try and pry some of this sticker off and see if there's another warranty. Nope, it's just this one. Which is interesting because if you look at the back, it doesn't even look like these were pried open. But, oh, some metal just rattled in here. I can't make it do the same sound again. But anyways, good on Xbox for not leaving marks. Okay, so this top piece where the hard drive goes is not cooperating with me whatsoever. I'm almost gonna have to like break it off or something, because holy, this is taking me forever to take off. I've tried just about every single... As I was getting ready to say, I've tried just about every single trick to get this undone. I just pried a screwdriver in between the outer layer and this grayish plastic. And as soon as I said that, of course, it's going to come loose. Alright, now with this off, you should be able to see... Well, it's not completely off, which I don't understand why. I literally clicked on you. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm using my phone's flashlight because I can't see where these tabs are. Okay, enough of that. I'm going from this side. Yep. Okay, neither of you gonna reach. What the heck is this? I'm just gonna pull you. Probably gonna break, but wow, holy. Okay, so I had to pry it open from the top. More plastic broke off. This one's my fault. I mean, unless that was already broken off and it was just stuck. But okay, so on this side is a little bit more dusty than on the other side, but we at least have all 6 feet, so that is a plus. I can't see any more plastic that's broken off. There we go. Here's the one the 1 foot that came off of the bottom piece. But nothing. Yeah, more. That's one of the legs for. You can hardly even see that. But this is one of the legs for like either the disk drive or something inside. Nothing else is coming off until I open it up more. We'll go ahead and void this warranty because that's what we do here. Then as soon as we have that void, put this knife away and start prying. Granted, I am using flathead screwdrivers, which isn't the best thing I could use, but I have to wait for my pry tools that come in the mail, and it should be here sometime this week. Wow, I didn't break this one. Wait. Okay. I gotta make sure I don't talk too early. We come towards the back, where these tabs are. I don't remember exactly. I think I have to do it this way. Okay, I just showed one of the tabs in the front. Here we go. Dude, don't click in. God damn it. Alright. Just stay apart from me. Oh, I just cracked it. That's cool. Alright, now that all the tabs are taken off, you can slide this off. I think more plastic just fell off, but I don't know what it was. You can take this bottom assembly plate off. And again, you know, this looks relatively clean. There's hardly any dust on here. Just enough dust over where the fan is to let you know that somebody used it. There's a broken stud here, which this is no big deal. So by the looks of it, most of the broken plastic is in the inside of this, which could be good or could be bad. But let's get the right screwdriver bits to get all these screws off. Okay, so a T10 for almost every single screw in here, except for these black ones, because these black ones are T8s. And for the amount of screws that are in here, I'm yet to understand why. It doesn't really need it. Like, I understand a few here and there, but you don't need, what is it, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 screws? 15 T10 screws? Like, come on now. Okay, with that, yeah, okay. With that off, we can take this top assembly off. Maybe. Did I forget to take some off? Yes, this eject button. Which is should be relatively simple to take off. Yep, right there. And now it should come off. There we go. Again, relatively clean. The only thing is, compared to the last Xbox I got from Goodwill, all of these studs that take in the T10 screws are still intact. I just have to figure a way to take this metal piece off so I can clean on the inside, because it looks like these are melted on. But we'll see. Ooh, this is kind of dusty. Way more dusty than I would think it should be. The heat sinks are actually pretty clean. However, the motherboard is like, it's got like dust from sitting around. You can't really tell. See if I can wipe my finger on it. Yeah, it's got like dust bunnies and stuff. But it is what it is at this point. This should be able to unclip if done properly. There we go. Should just come out. Now, I don't know if I want to try and open this up or just test it. This is one of the older ones because this is heavy. Yeah, even Even looking at this back, you can kind of tell, maybe to the naked eye, but I don't think to a camera. You can see all of this, all these. Here, I got an idea. I'll show you with this paper towel. Well, kind of see. It's like this all over the fan vent, which it is what it is. It seems like it's dust from it being sitting around and not being used, which is no big deal. That dust tends to be easier to clean off than all the gunk from the fan running and it not being necessarily in a clean area. Oops. There we go. Disk drive is out. I don't think there's anything holding you in, is there? There shouldn't be. Do I have to click you in? There we go. Oh, these fans are caked in dust. Maybe I was wrong. Holy. Holy moly. I can just smell the old dust in here. I'm trying to do this very carefully, so I don't break any more than is already broken. Look at all this dust. Disgusting! Holy crap. And this is... And I'm telling you, you know, this dust is more from sitting around than it is from playing it. But it's still dust. There we go. Looking at the bottom. There's rattling in here, though. I'm hoping that there's no plastic underneath these heat sinks. But if you look at the bottom of this this bottom plate, there are some dust bunnies in here, and another. Here's a stud that I was looking for the top. There's some dust bunnies. I mean, there's no big deal. That's from just sitting around right here. It's not horrible. Could be much worse. I'm gonna set this aside. And see if we can take off these X clamps, which are going to be the fun part. Why, Microsoft? Why did you have to come out with these stupid X clamps? Holy crap, I've been trying to pry these for like 10 minutes now. Trying to be very gentle, and I have no patience. I'm actually surprised how patient I'm being with these stupid, forsaken X clamps. Holy. Oh my god, one X clamp off after struggling forever. Let's just see. It's wanting to come off, but let's just see what the thermal paste looks like. Wow, I was mistaken. There's no thermal paste that was replaced here. There's hardly any thermal paste right where the chip is. And to be honest, that's very sad. So maybe I was incorrect by saying that those stickers, the void stickers, were actually the Xboxes that were sent back to have the Red Ring of Death repaired. Now I'm thinking that those are the old warranty stickers. Well, after screwing around with these X-clamps for, I don't know, coming up on a half hour, finally see what the other heat sink thermal paste looks like. Dun 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 dun! Horrible.
Yeah, boy.
This is actually dried out. Not too bad, but dried out enough to. I mean, it's a good thing I couldn't play the game, a singular game, because this thermal paste doesn't fly. There's basically nothing on there. So by the looks of it, I'm gonna have to obviously clean it, replace it with the thermal paste, and open up this disk drive. Let's see. Actually, let's just open up this disk drive right away, just to have an idea as to what the hell is going on. Let's see what this looks like in here. So the magnetic seal is still there, which is good. However, this, I can hardly even tell if there's anything wrong with it. Let me take this bottom assembly out. I mean, it's just dusty. That's a lot of lube, though. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be that filled with, I forgot what that's even called, flux. But I'm sure that if I clean off this disk drive, it should work relatively well. So I went through and I cleaned off the entire interior of the Xbox, seeing as the disk drive didn't want to work. So I decided to, plug it in and see if it would work. But before I did that, I just kind of like cleaned off the lens and the spinner. And as soon as I did that, it started to work. So here, let me show you. I'm gonna I'm gonna put in this Shaun White skateboard game that came with this Xbox from Goodwill, just so that I can show you more or less. Well, if I can get it out of this. Here we go. Tray. Put game in. And if we give it a second, it should automatically start reading it. Because, I mean, it's saying reading. Granted, it said reading before, but the actual disk drive didn't start spinning. And you can sort of kind of hear it. There we go. If you ask me, that's all the proof I need that the disk drive works. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is another Xbox 360 down. It is on the NXE dashboard, so that's also a good thing. I don't plan on updating it. I do plan on starting it up again and resetting it for whoever decides to take this off my hands. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys watching. If you did enjoy what you watched, I hope you give this a thumbs up and you subscribe, because it helps out the channel immensely. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.